Hi everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at NHL Blast and some of the features and stuff that they've done to the experience that made it such a huge success. This compared to Planet Hugo, which we reviewed last time, this blows it out the water. And before we get into the game and I show you around a little bit, we're going to be taking a look at the Blocks Metrics page, which is our product to get more insights about Roblox experiences. So as you can see, NHL Blast launched a little bit over a year ago on March 31st, 2023, and the latest updates was this April on the 9th of 2024. Since then, since its launch, it's amassed 23 million lifetime visits. It has very decent rating of 81% and has a massive average session length of 6.5 minutes. So we'll be going over the graphs as we usually do. So as you can see, this is over the last 6 months. The visits were pretty low compared to some of the higher days, right? This is always going to be correlated to what there's to do and what there's to collect in your game. And as you can see, there's an update in April, and by the time people see it and collect new things, it's always tied to new UGC coming out every week or every once in a while with new quests, new games, and some other things that we'll cover once we're in game. But the visits increase massively when you do this. So if we go to all-time visits, there we go. We can see that in March, it gained a lot of visits. Then there was an update, peaked again, then another update. So they've been very consistent with bringing new content to this game at a frequent pace. And we can see on the average session length for the all-time as well, people will spend a lot of time. It peaked at 25-30 minutes even, depending on the quest and the stuff that there's to collect in game. People will go crazy for UGC, and it's a great tactic to have these collectibles for free for player to kind of stay in your game and go through the quests needed to kind of collect this limited or I would say limited edition UGC. So we're going to jump straight into the game now. So here we are in NHL Blast. This is the lobby, and there's a lot of things to cover. Everything is interlinked with what happens with the NHL. And there's a lot it's very nicely done in the sense that you see some major players like ESPN and other things connected to the NHL that fans love. So obviously the lobby is massive. There's so much to cover, but to quickly go through it, obviously like any Roblox game, there's going to be a way for you to collect free UGC. So these are the two at the moment that you can collect by just going and playing the game and reaching certain levels. Obviously I'm level 10 right now. I've played a little bit, about an hour or so, just to get a hang of what there is to collect and get to know the game better, and I'm only level 10. And you need to be level 50 to collect this crown and 70 to collect this hockey stick, which go on your back. And so this is the UGC that you're able to buy for Robux that are made specifically for this game. But it doesn't necessarily just stop there. We're going to go through the gear section, which is going to be linked to the team that you selected for the NHL Club Challenge, where every single team in the NHL is represented here. You're able to choose your team. So I've chosen the Krakens, but every team of the NHL is here. The San Jose Sharks. There we go, cool. And you're able to buy like club specific jerseys, right, and gear related to the team that you've chosen. And this is the leaderboard of the points that you score by playing games with your friends or alone. accumulated by the players that chose that specific team. Every team is in here. There's a podium for the most points per player. It's absolutely massive. There's some trivia games where you're going to be able to score extra points by taking a dedicated trivia quiz to your team. So this is really made for fans first. Of course, if you're in love with the NHL, there's everything that you'll love about everything. There's the leaderboards of the lobby for every game that they have and every stat that you might want. The chaos run for every single level. There's the amount of goals scored weekly, the games won, tag players. We're going to dive into the game really quickly, which is the PvP, player versus player game, where you need to score. It kind of works like a team deathmatch if you're familiar with it. So we're loaded in. It works like a team deathmatch for those who played games before. And you need to, instead of killing players, you need to score goals. But what you can do to kind of prevent or help your team score more goals is freeze them by hitting them with your hockey puck. So we're going to score a goal here, and you score 15 points at a time. So there we are, scored my 15 points. And then by the end, you got to beat the clock, and whichever team has the most point wins. There's also the NHL Chaos Run, which we're quickly going to go through. But mind you, these games massively help with the retention because you're working towards a goal. There's free UGC, there's experience to gain, um, and you're able to just work towards that goal to get that free UGC, right? You don't want to spend necessarily Robux, and they look really cool. So this is the Chaos Run. It's a sort of obstacle course, obviously hockey themed. You're gliding around. It takes a long time. You got to beat the ghosts, as you can see. Ooh, I fell off. As you can see at the left, there's a timer to beat, and the faster you go about it, the better score you score, and the faster you can get to uh, where you want to be. There's an action game where you can play games with your friends and record them and create cool videos. Um, there's a selfie station. So there you go. You can take your character. There's just a lot to cover. There's training grounds for people that are not familiar with the controls, and they kind of you're able to really get familiar with this game. And this is a shootout, little mini game. Um, so yeah, I highly encourage you to get into NHL Blast and kind of see for yourself everything that there is to do. It's absolutely massive, and it justifies the massive success that it has been. Obviously, it's not the only sports activation or Roblox experience there is, but being sports and how dedicated the fans can be, it especially when you're a kid, the dive into Roblox makes perfect sense for the NHL to kind of reach a younger audience. Obviously, hockey can be sort of a violent sport, and so some of the games that are made for console are not necessarily suitable for kids. But this is another way where you can connect with that younger audience and yeah, just engage with them and get your brand to connect and interact with this younger audience.